I really think there should always be at least a 3-day inspection contingency period. I think it's crazy.
It's crazy, and I've in the hundred, God, I don't even know how many houses I've sold. I've only let my buyers waive inspection 3 times, and they were
Mhm.
all for very, very specific. Fine, I'll let you do it, but I'm still kicking my feet reasons. And it's bad for the buyer, it's bad for the market, and it's bad for liability.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andrea Gordon, your host on Realizations, the podcast about everything real estate. I started the podcast because of the NAR DOJ lawsuits and the commission lawsuits. I was really pissed off that they disrespected our profession so profoundly and dealt with a bunch of people that were not involved in real estate, creating legislation about realtors and what it is we do when they had no idea what the profession really is. And I thought, oh, I can be mad for years and years, or I can do something positive. And to me, creating this podcast for the American public and other realtors to educate the American public and to extol the virtues and values of realtors out in the world was the best way to combat the ignorance that I perceived in that situation. So, welcome to the show, Lauren Goché. Is that how am I pronouncing your name correctly?
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Awesome. Lauren is in Portland, Oregon. She's a broker with Think Real Estate, and I'm really happy to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about your journey in real estate and how you got into the business, why you chose real estate, how that all happened for you.
I didn't really choose real estate. Real estate chose me. I mean, in reality, I was very much lost in my early 30s going, what the hell do I do?
Hmm.
And a friend was like, you should get into real estate, which I mean, I'm sure you know that's pretty rare. Most people are like, oh God, another goddamn realtor. But she was like, you'd be really good. I'll be your mentor. Just
Hmm.
do it. And that's pretty rare. And so I was like, fine.
Hmm. Okay,
And then it turned out she was right. I loved it. I still love it. And it's been
great.
a little over 12 and a half years.
And you handle a team at this point in time. How did that
Yeah.
happen for you?
Oh, I burned out and freaked out. And then finally, I had a coach, a business coach that was like, the solution to this is help. And I was like, you don't know me. Turns out she did. And she was like, you
Uh-huh.
either need help or you need to like just really make some big changes otherwise. So yeah,
Hmm.
I started a team because I was in major burnout.
Yeah, real estate can do that to you. I mean, you're expected to be on call 24/7.
Hmm.
If you don't set some boundaries, and I'm really bad at it myself. I've been doing this
Yeah.
now for 28 years, and
Yeah.
I'll still pick up the phone at 11 o'clock at night. I can't train myself not to do that. So when you picked out your team, who did you decide to pick? How did that work?
Um, the first person I hired, her name was Daisy. She's since moved on to start a staging company, and she's our preferred stager now, so that she's still kind of in the family.
Hmm.
She had been a realtor like on her own for a year or two and was just not really finding her feet. And a friend had suggested, like, hey, have you talked to Daisy Grattan? And I was like, no. And I interviewed her and I was like, oh, this is a great fit. It
Hmm.
was pretty easy, to be honest. And then the
Hmm.
second person, Maria Tosh, she was brand new, never, just gotten licensed,
Hmm. Hmm.
pretty young. I think I hired her at 26. And she is still on my team as my buyer's agent and is an absolute powerhouse. I'm so proud of her and she just kicks so much butt. And then I just hired an operations manager, Rosalind, and to keep all of us vaguely in check. And then we have a transaction manager and
Yeah.
have, all the other little bits and bobs that go with it. So.
Right. And would you say that you focus primarily on listings or do you focus on both? How does your business break down?
Yeah, I would say I focus on both. I'm trying to step away from let Maria kind of take the lead on a lot more buyers. She's got skills, she's got personality for it, and just concentrate a little bit more on listings.
Hmm.
The reality of that is hard for me, but I mean, I trust her and she's incredible, so I don't know what my problem is.
You're too modest. Yeah, it's hard to let go of control.
Yeah.
It really really is. I'm kind of a control freak myself.
Hmm.
I'm in theater when I work. I'm a director and a playwright, and so I usually have a lot of control over those situations. Same thing in real estate. I feel obligated to check in on every little detail, and it can
Yeah.
drive you a little crazy because you're working so hard on everything. What sort of
Yeah.
volume does your team do annually?
About 50 deals a year, give or take.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
does how and in Portland, Oregon, what does that break down to financially?
I think our average price point last year was 675
Hmm.
per deal. I
So you're
think
doing about
we're
40 million annually, something like that.
whatever that math is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And how do you balance your life with your brokerage? What else do you do? What are the other things that you involve yourself
Ah,
in?
balance. All right. Now you're just showing off. Like, do realtors have balance? Actually, that's not true. Since I've gotten the team, truly, like, it's been, and like, we've been doing some, like, you're talking about boundary stuff. Like, we've been really working on, like, we're taking Sundays off. Like, now we do some computer work and write an offer, but we're not showing houses for the most part. Like, once in a while, there's an exception. If someone's only in town on a Sunday, but we really have been holding true to that. And that has been, whew, what a game changer for mental
Yeah.
health, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, because realtors tend to work 7 days a week. It's just,
7 and every
yeah.
waking hour. Yeah. So I've been, like it's been great. Like taking Sundays off and stopping responding to things after 8 for the most part, with
Hmm.
exceptions here and there, has been amazing. I started like horseback riding and I take ceramics classes and I'm like really leaning into my middle-aged like, hobbies lady personality. Yeah, like I just
Okay.
like try to take some singing lessons and I got like an electric piano and I'm just like, okay, let's have a life other than real estate. And so far it's been
Mhm.
amazing.
Well, very, very cool. Do you have a
Yeah.
family?
I don't have any kids.
Me either.
And yeah, yeah, and have been single for a very long time, by choice. And recently have started dating someone, so it's nice to have a little extra time for that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
very, very cool. Yeah, I've been
yeah,
married forever and I don't think I could do it without my husband, to be honest with you.
that's amazing.
He makes all the difference in the world for me. And
Oh, I love
yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
I've
yeah.
I've been out here on my own for many years and it's been honestly pretty intense sometimes when you're like, cool, just like a little support would be nice and
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
it's hard to be a single woman. It really is. We
Yeah.
got married. I'm 69, almost 70, and
Yeah.
when we started dating, I was 46, and I had gotten
Yeah.
divorced at 25, and I chose not to be married. He was the only person I'd ever wanted to marry again. So,
Oh.
yeah.
And you guys
So,
are going strong
oh yeah.
for a couple decades now. So
Mhm.
that's awesome. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I still feel the
I'm
same
and
way. He's
I'm
amazing.
46 now too, so
Oh, very cool.
yeah.
Very cool. Well,
Yeah.
it's the best time of life actually because you actually know what you want.
Yup.
You know how to get it. Whether
Yep.
you actually go and get it or not is the other question. But there's a wisdom that's involved in life when you hit your 40s that's just really cool. Wait till you hit your
Yeah.
60s. It's a really good time of
I'm
life.
excited. I'm like, I have a ton of girlfriends in their 60s and they are just living their best lives. So I have no fear about growing
Yeah,
old, to be honest. I'm just like, bring it on. You
yeah.
all are kicking ass, so let's go.
Yeah, no, I just, you get to this place where you're like, I don't care what other people think of me. I'm going to do what I want. Like
Yep.
I'm getting my PhD right now, and
Okay. In
I
what?
started transformative studies at the California Institute of Integral Studies. So I'm focusing on women, ageism, and theater. And I'm
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I've been sponsoring a reading series at the Magic Theater and directing it for the
Amazing.
last 2 years. I'm the director of development of new plays there. So I've been focusing on plays written by, about, and for women over the age of 55.
Oh,
And
hell yeah. That is
because
so needed.
there's
And
terrible parts for women anybody who's old is playing the mom, they're
yeah.
playing the nosy neighbor, they're playing the bitch, they're playing,
Yeah, it's
and
not
I'm
ever in a positive light.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm working on changing that one play at a time.
Oh, how cool. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And still working like 60 hours a week in real estate. It used to be
Good
90,
God.
now it's 60.
Good for you.
Yeah. And my team consists of I have two listing coordinators who sit at inspections, get bids done,
Yeah.
make sure that everything happens on time, what have you. I have one buyer's agent and he's one of the listing coordinators.
Okay.
And then I have a transaction coordinator and I have a virtual assistant in the Philippines who's really incredible and
That's amazing.
inexpensive. And, for her, she's making a ton of money. So it's a
Yeah.
win-win for both of us.
Yeah.
So it's a good team. I do about the same as you, 50, 60
hmm
transactions a year.
Yeah.
Um, and in California, it's a little bit more lucrative.
Higher price point.
But you know what? I think the thing is, if your life is as good as it can be, wherever you are. I mean, I just filled up my tank with $7.09 gas. Yeah,
Dang.
is that amazing? And they're like going nuts all over television saying gas is at $4 a gallon and it's horrible. And I'm thinking to myself, it's been over $5 a gallon in California forever because of all the additives that we have to stop
Yeah.
pollution, what have you,
Yeah.
which I don't resent, but
Yeah. Yeah.
$7.09, that was
That's
pretty that was
excessive.
that was at a Chevron station that I normally go to, and it went up literally $1 overnight. It was like,
That's wild.
yeah, well, people are taking advantage of what they perceive as an financial opportunity too.
Yeah.
So things are, and how is your market there? I mean, here it's a little funky. Ever since the war started, buyers are stepping back, going, "Ooh, I'm a little scared about what my
We
financials are."
started hard this
Yeah.
spring and we started early. And in November, December, I was talking to all my colleagues and I was like, hey, this feels like 2021.
Yep.
This is our pipeline. Our pipeline
hmm
is absolutely bananas.
hmm
And we just been going strong. And then the war started, which is absolute bullshit.
Yes,
And
I am right there with you.
yeah, and things have slowed, but not to a stop. We're
hmm
still
hmm
seeing, I just wrote on a listing, for our buyer, and I think they got, they went 130,000 over.
hmm
So it's not that those aren't still out there. But also like buyers are so picky. Buyers have been really picky since the rates went up in 2022, 2023,
I
though.
agree.
So, yeah.
I agree.
So, and then every time it gets more expensive, they get pickier, which is fair. Like
Yeah.
super fair. So, yeah, it is still super competitive for the right house and then crickets for the wrong house, I guess is the best way
I
to put it.
yeah, I mean, we're having the same thing here where one
Yeah.
house, like I just sold a house on Miller, which is a house way up in the hills in Berkeley,
hmm
surrounded
hmm
by trees, all the insurance problems you could possibly want, what have you. And about four other properties came on the market right around the same time, right around us, and we sold. And we took a preemptive offer on it,
Yeah.
which was
Okay.
a great offer, and the other ones are all still sitting there.
And
So
can you tell what the difference is between yours and the other ones?
honestly, I'll be frank with you. Ours was not as nice as two of them. It was much nicer than one of them.
hmm
It had a good floor plan for older
Mm.
people. They could
Yeah.
just walk right in, and
Huge.
it wasn't like a cliff house like two of them,
hmm
which I think is part of why it sold so
Yeah.
quickly. Somebody
Yeah.
saw I mean, it's a two-level house, but it's essentially everything you need is on
One
one
level
level.
living. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I think that was it. It has a great view, but the others did too. And
I mean,
sometimes they
yeah, I can sell one level living until I'm blue in the face. I mean, they
right,
need to start making more of those, although it takes up more room and blah, blah, but like
right.
everybody's looking for aging in place.
So for example, I wish I could have a class with contractors and builders.
Oh my
I would be
God.
like, don't ever build another house that has a shared driveway. Just don't do it, you know?
Yeah,
Because there's so many
truly.
disputes that start, or don't build a house that has more than two stories without putting an elevator in.
Yeah.
Or,
I
I
mean,
mean,
all these things, like,
yeah,
and just like, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I could, same, just like, why are you doing this? Why would you do this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're lucky and I'm lucky because we live in areas that are finite. We're not in like Las Vegas where they can just build another house. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a little bit of built-in price solidity
Yeah.
in
I
the
think that's fair.
neighborhoods that we serve. What is the housing stock like in Portland?
Oh gosh, what is our inventory at right now? I think we're almost to 4 months, but that's not
Hmm.
accurate day to day for the good
Hmm.
houses. It's
Right.
like we've been saying this for years. It's like the tale of two markets, you know, where the houses that aren't prepped well, aren't priced well, and aren't marketed well sit and sit and sit and sit and sit. And
Right.
then everything else just like gets multiple offers and goes crazy. So the inventory and like there's statistics like, oh, you know, prices are dropping. And I'm like, yes, and if it's a good house in a desirable neighborhood, that's absolutely not the case.
Right.
And
It's
so
going for
it's
10% over. Yeah.
at least, oh my God,
Hmm.
I had a listing this February where I comped that baby out so hard. I sent it to colleagues and people were like, "Ooh, it's too high at 775." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm sticking with it." And the sellers had like interviewed a bunch of other realtors and they all came back with basically the same price. We got 12 offers and we sold for 1.1. That's 40% over, which is insane. Everybody's like, "Oh, you priced too low." And I was like, "I did not." I was like, "I didn't." That's
Do
what the
they
comp said.
do
But
they
the house was
do
special.
do they do what we do here, which is very often in Berkeley and Oakland, they other realtors, I don't do it so much, will price a house massively under what it should sell for. And then are there people doing that there too?
There are people that do that deliberately. I like to say that I like to price conservatively. So if, you know, if we get one offer, we're stoked, but the goal is still to get at least a couple because that's going to be the best for the seller. But I
Hmm.
don't want to go so low that if we get just one, you know, if we get an offer for list price, my sellers would be pissed, which
Right,
there are bad actors out there doing that. And like you can't
right.
like ethically you can't put a house on the market unless you're willing to sell it for list price. And there are a couple in the world and this town that deliberately do that and they do it specifically so they get buyers in the open house so they like lock buyers into agreements that are really
Hmm.
really strict and then buyers can't get out of them and it's like a whole thing. It's like there's like a handful of people in town that
Yeah,
if I
no, no,
mention their
we have a
name,
couple of them. We have a
uh-huh,
couple of them here too, where
yeah,
they price everything at 8.99, but it's really going to sell for 1.2, or they price it
yeah,
at 1.1 and it's really going to sell for 1.8.
yeah.
I actually
I
have I
did
walked
not mean
away.
to do that for mine, to be
No,
clear.
I know, I know. I
Yeah,
knew that was the part of the story. Yeah,
yeah.
when I sit sellers down, I give them the comps and I show them the lowest comp and I say, worst case scenario, this is what you would get. Would you be willing to
Mm,
list your house for this? That's how
yeah,
I price. And I've been around for so long, everybody knows I price like that.
great.
And other people would have priced that same house $200,000 less. So
Yeah.
my house might get fewer offers, but they're all good ones.
Yeah, they're solid, which is
Yeah,
good.
as opposed
Yeah.
to the 40 that you'll get if you price something under by
I'm
$300,000.
like, what a show, right?
Yeah,
And hard on
basically.
buyers and hard on the market and
Yeah.
then
Okay.
appraisals and comps and it just screws everything up and
Yeah. I'm
yeah.
surprised to see that it's the same in Portland as it is here. Do you guys put disclosure packets up front?
We do. Not everybody does, but we do for our
Yeah.
listings. That
Yeah.
I'm just like, let's put everything out here. I want buyers to come in so eyes wide open that then when they finally do make an offer, they're like solid, right?
Right.
So that's part of the strategy for making sure that we put disclosure packets up. We put them on our MLS. I'm like, please submit these signed with an offer.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that too. Everybody pretty much in our area does do that.
Oh,
But if
okay.
you go through the tunnel to Orinda, Moraga,
Yeah.
Lafayette, Walnut Creek, they don't do that.
Oh,
So a
interesting.
buyer writes an offer and then finds out about the condition of the house.
I mean, we have that with, do you guys do inspections before? I don't
Yes,
remember. Yeah, we don't do that.
you don't.
No, so we do disclosures, but people get into contract and then we have a 10 is the like the standard 10 business day
Oh,
inspection
interesting.
period. And then inspections happen. Um, and negotiations via those with those inspections happen within those 10 business days. And then like it's less business days if it's multiple offers. And then they can terminate or negotiate
Wow.
or
We
move
have,
on.
do you ever have non-contingent offers there?
We do. I pretty much don't let my buyers make those
Yeah.
offers.
Yeah. We end up in situations here where since everybody else is doing it, your buyer kind of has to do it. But at that point, I will
Yeah.
even arrange to get an inspection before my buyer puts an offer in if there
Yeah.
are no inspections in a packet because it's just crazy making. And I really think there should always be at least a 3-day inspection contingency period. I think it's crazy.
It's crazy, and I've in the hundred. God, I don't even know how many houses I've sold. I've only let my buyers waive inspection 3 times, and they were
Hmm.
all for very, very specific. Fine, I'll let you do it, but I'm still kicking my feet reasons.
Hmm.
Um, and it's bad for the buyer, it's bad for the market, and it's bad for our liability.
Yeah. No kidding. No
I
kidding.
mean, I just don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't. As a buyer's agent, I don't like it. As a listing agent, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, wave it all. You're good to
Although
go.
actually it opens you up to all kinds of
That is true.
liability
That is super
at the
true.
end of a sale. If somebody finds something that they think the seller should have
Should have
known,
disclosed.
yeah, it's very
Yeah,
litigious here.
that's true. Good
And
point.
when you're dealing with people that have this much money, they can hire a lawyer and
Yeah,
they can do it.
yeah, that's fair.
Like just this week, I had some buyers that were interested in a house that had a culvert in the back that had partially disintegrated. It had a non it was not written, but it was an easement, I guess by prescription, in the front of the house at the driveway level for 2 feet for the next door neighbor, which included the part that the electric car charger was in. And, and
God.
gets better,
Cool, cool, cool.
there was a fence dispute in the back that had gone into a lawsuit. The lawsuit had resolved and had not been completely finalized yet, but we were assured in the disclosures that the lawsuit had been handled. And my buyer's agent was very excited to have gotten this person to write an offer on this thing. And I came into the meeting and I was like, I'm sorry, I have to say something here. I don't think you should buy this house. And so my buyer's agent's a little pissed at me right now. I was like, are those red flags or what? I
I
mean,
know. You're like, it's literally in front of your face.
yeah,
Not just one, but like three guys. Come on.
exactly.
Yeah, I know. There's been a few times where I'm like, oh, okay, let's take a couple steps back here.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I think that the buyers are grateful to you when you actually step in and do say something like that.
Oh, I'm constantly like, I call myself the dream crusher. I'm just like, no, absolutely not. Moving on. No, nope, 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 nope. We're terminating. We're not making that offer. Like, I'm just like constantly telling all of my buyers no and like laughing that like if I say yes, then you should pay attention.
You know what? I have no doubt that your buyers love you, and because I can tell you bring a lot of passion to everything that you do, and I really
For good
appreciate.
or bad.
Yeah, well, but you know what? You're authentic. And when you're
Yeah.
authentically who you are out in the world, you bring goodness back to yourself. You really do. Unless
Well,
you're
and it's
like Hitler or
interesting.
something.
I think it's interesting in this job, how we get paid is closing deals. And I early on just it's really hard to do, but I disengaged from remembering that. Like I just pretend like I have a salary.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so if it closes, if it doesn't, it's kind of no sweat off my back because I know it'll all shake out in the end.
Right.
And I
Great
think
attitude.
yeah, and that's the way that I'm like that way I'm not like attached to a commission or attached to
Right.
something closing.
Right.
That way I'm constantly putting the clients first no matter what. And for newer agents or some people I mean that's just harder to do like because it's exciting and you sometimes you make less money or whatever, but it's harder to disengage from the oh I need to close this because I want that money mentality.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
just early on is I just decided I'd pretend like I was on a salary and just called it a day. And I was like, if it closes, cool. If it doesn't, no big deal.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So if my viewers want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you?
I would say Instagram is a great one. It's just my name, Lauren Goche, Laurengoche. And then same for my website. I'm super egocentric, evidently. It's just my name.
Mine too, and that's the best way. Well,
Yeah.
you're a complete delight. If I ever have anybody for Portland, I will send them
Thank
your way, and
you.
I hope you send them my way if you have anybody for the
Absolutely.
Bay Area. And thank you for
Yeah.
coming on the show today. It means a lot
Thank
to
you so
me.
much for having me. It was such a good conversation. I appreciate
Yeah,
it. And I'm
yeah. I think
excited to
they'll
see
get.
you out there on the internet.
I think people will get a lot out of it. Actually,
Awesome.
how awesome is it to actually be honest about real estate and how real estate is practiced? It's a good
Amen to
thing.
that.
All
Amen to
right.
that.
Be
Yeah.
well. Thank
Cool.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
If you loved hearing from these incredible voices shaping real estate, you'll want to catch what's next. Click the video on screen to keep discovering more inspiring stories.